He's gonna die. I knew it. Oh my god, I knew it. Hey everyone, MTash here, and today we're going to be doing an Osteo Striga exotic review. Now, one thing I wanted to address really quickly is, on my old MTash channel, I was very PvP focused, but I think that the PvE side of the game is very interesting, and it excites me a lot. And so when I review these things, I do want to touch on the PvE aspect of things a lot more than I did in the past. So if you want to see an exotic review, I'm not just going to hit it from one angle, I'm going to make sure I cover everything very well. Does that make sense? So let's get into this thing, because I'm looking at an exotic kinetic weapon, and I'm looking at competing with something like the Huckleberry, which has rapidly grown to be one of my favorite weapons in-game. If I'm going to be using a kinetic SMG, is it going to compete with something like this? Let's have a chat about this, right? You have to really compare apples to apples a lot of the time. Is this fun to use? And it might not be meta? That's fine. That's all good. But we're going to dive in. We're going to test this bad boy out. PvP, PvE. Let's get started. Okay, so my first reactions of using this weapon, just clearing these guys, is I expected the poison to be a little bit more OP, especially with all these enemies like spawning in. But that might be the issue, is because they're spawning in, they're not all getting poisoned all at the same time. Right? It's killing them, it's fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna push in further, where there's all the enemies spawned in at the same time, and we're gonna see how it feels there. Now, one thing I'm curious of seeing is range doesn't really matter as long as you poison it, right? So that thing is ticking down, doing poison damage. So this has some innate built-in range that can have value, right? So it's not really tracking in at a distance. So if it's a stationary enemy, you might be okay. That one there, though, now it's ticking. It's doing some burns, doing some bleeds. It's not great damage, though. Like, it's passive. I'm not sure about that damage. All right, what about up close and personal, though? Tag it a few times. All right, the poison. All right. On basic trash mobs, it's a little bit more maintainable. It's all right. But this is actually the group of enemies I want to test it on, okay? There's a couple of tankier knights down there. I want to see what happens. Let's just, put a couple shots on there. We got the poison going. The knight is ticking down. Okay, reasonable amount of damage. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Not bad. Not bad. And, you can attack the big boy and get it to proc. Am I going to die here? Now, I guess technically you'd almost want to attack the trash mobs so that that poison is spreading very quickly and easily. I see the potential. In a Nightfall, is this worth the exotic slot? I'm not sure just yet. Now, I wanted to do some PvE with the Huckleberry to kind of compare things, and they honestly feel pretty similar in the wave clear. The Huckleberry is a lot more personal and in your face. It is a 1v1 dueling machine kind of thing, and you just hold down the trigger. And even though I currently don't have the automatic reloading on the Osteo Striga, I think they did a very similar job taking out the mobs. The poison damage is pretty damn nice, and the burst of poison that hits multiple targets, it's actually better than you might think because it tags those random thralls that are hidden behind a pot, and you don't have to commit time to shooting them, and they just kind of die. And so I do feel that the Huckleberry, it's more enjoyable to use for me, but I don't think that it was necessarily better. It's just different. And so if you equip the Osteo Striga in PvE, I don't think it's a mistake, but the question is still going to remain, do you want to use your exotic on a kinetic SMG? I'm just not sure. There are so many amazing weapons in the game. There's the Gallahorn, there's tons of them. It's tough to say at this time. So, we saw the footage of the last weapon, right? And so we want to keep Valor up all the time, but I want to mow down a lot of these enemies. I want to be able to just absolutely crush them. And, we got a bunch spawning in here. These knights are spawning in. It might take a second to build up. We get poison on a handful of enemies. It's ticking down. It might just take a second. But right now, I'm already not feeling as OP as I did. It could just be the spawns. We've got Devour again. Okay, so optimally, as all this stuff spawns in, we are just gonna wreck everything, poisoning everything, spreading damage, and I can just kind of forget about them. That is the hope. And, if you look at the Huckleberry footage, I can just I just run around and dust everything. A knight spawns in, a tanky enemy spawns in, and they just get crushed, right? That is the goal. That is the hope. And I mean, I would say that it is doing good. Reloading's slowing things down, but area of effect could speed things up, right? That just died to some poison. We got more poison going here, and so that is valuable. That is very valuable. I currently don't feel quite as OP, but it's also going to depend a little bit on enemy spawns. Are people stealing your kills? Are you getting dusted by Lucent Hive? You also have to remember, I don't have this thing at level 10. And so I'm seeing the potential already, but it's not reloading itself the way it will. So you really need to think about that bad boy right there. My first thoughts PvE-wise is, it's going to do its job, and it's going to do it well. But I'm missing a key component here. So if you like the weapon now, just wait until it reloads itself. So I'm going to jump into a Rumble game. My first thoughts are, is this thing going to feel terrible? Is it going to feel like floaty and weird because of the tracking? Is it going to feel OP? I don't really know. The poison, I can't see mattering too often, but maybe it does. Maybe it's OP. I'm going to have to try it in like control and see if I can get it to proc. But people are going to have to be really grouped up for that to matter. 1v1, I'm guessing this gun doesn't feel great, but I want to play a game just to get a feel. I'm a little bit scared about this, not going to lie. Okay, it seems like you don't have to actually aim, which is kind of cool. See, I'm seeing like how aggressive is this tracking gonna be? Oh my god, I didn't reload. Okay, that feels super weird. Do I aim at the guy? Do I aim away? I'm gonna get the SMG loader, and that'll change things up a little bit. So I think this guy right here is a multi-mock, and I'm gonna get dusted. Okay, I traded after the fact. I can see that happening a lot. Let me know in the comments below. Is this a trade machine? You die, but they die? It seems like the optimal time to kill... I mean, okay. We got that passive poison damage going. Like, can you pre-fire around corners? I'm not sure how I'm gonna like this. It just seems off. Okay, we got it. We got the Devour going. Not bad. Suck him. Is that gonna suck him in? I got a little suck in. Alright, Devour's procced. We're vibing. Is this thing easy to use? Not sure yet. I don't know. Alright. Wait, what? Did my melee do 1 damage? See, okay. Yeah, see, if people kind of peek behind cover, I think we're going to have issues. I think we're going to have a lot of issues if they're peeking. I guess you could kind of hip fire it. It feels cheesy. It doesn't feel like a very skillful weapon, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Like, look at that. I just kind of left that guy. Ran out of ammo. I should have reloaded. Okay. Alright, I want to hip fire this guy. Alright. I stole it. We got naded, is what it is. Interesting how good this thing could be hip fire. It's almost like Dead Man's Tale in that sense. It's like, get close enough. You just send a couple little babies over there. Yeah, no problem. Don't hit me. Nice. And I'm going to win this duel. Okay. I see the potential. Oh no. That felt really strong. As long as you can understand your kill times. Oh no. Oh no. Yes, I'm kind of seeing how you could abuse this thing. I'm seeing how you could abuse it and be really cheesy in playlists. I don't think this is a tournament-winning gun, but it is a very low-effort gun. He's gonna die. I knew it. Oh my god, I knew it. Yeah. This is going to be the trade monster. It is going to be the potato with no aim will get kills monster. If you don't know how to aim, pick up this gun and you will now win. Oh no, man! This is like Dead Man's Tale SMG edition. Actually, it might be better than that.
You've taken everything. First place goes to you.
Oh no. Now, without this perk, this weapon is kind of a husk of its true self. It gains stability, a big chunk of reload speed, and on those poison kills, you're gonna get ammo back into the mag. And so in PvE, this takes this weapon from decent to a very strong run through enemies type weapon. In PvP, it means you're ready for the next fight and you don't have to stress as bad. Now, the poison might not be returning ammo into your magazine every single time. In PvP, depending on how many hits are there, how weak they are, it might not proc. But getting that big chunk of reload speed allows you to be ready for the fight, so you have one way or another to get back in the battle, to deal with another threat that's coming around a corner. And that is a big bonus for me, because the reload speed did feel a little bit slow, a little bit punishing, and you can play pretty fast when you get that extra reload speed. So right now, if I'm looking at this weapon, is it good? Yes. Is it worth the exotic slot? I think it's going to definitely come down to how many enemies are spawning in, the strike that you might be doing, and how much you value that slow damage over time. That obviously is valuable, but you have to also remember, if an enemy is alive, they are a threat. Would it be better to maybe use a stronger exotic to put them down early? It is definitely something to consider. And when comparing it to something like the Huckleberry that gains rampage stacks, boosting your damage, as well as reloading the magazine as you kill enemies, I'm having a hard time liking the Osteo Striga as much. But that's also a personal thing. I like the feel of the Huckleberry and hitting those shots and making it feel like they're all connecting. It feels more satisfying to play. Hip firing and just locking on for free doesn't feel as fun to me, but it doesn't mean that it's worse. It just doesn't feel as rewarding, if that makes sense. Comparing these two both being kinetic, I personally like the Huckleberry more, but I think that the Osteo Striga is also missing a key part of the kit that will make it feel a lot more than the Huckleberry, or a lot similar to the Huckleberry. So I'm excited about that, and you have to remember that because it's area of effect poison, some random ass throw behind you might proc the reload, and you can just hold down the trigger all damn day, which leads to more poisons, which leads to it proccing more, right? So Osteo Striga at the current stage, I'm not gonna say, oh, you gotta have it, but I can see with that perk, I changed my mind. So I'm gonna re-review this thing once I grind it out and get the final perk, because I think I'm missing a key point, but I wanted to give you my thoughts on this now, because, is it worth grinding this thing up? Is it worth leveling? Yes. After using it in PvP and seeing how strong it can be, I think you're gonna wanna have this thing leveled up, and it's kind of just a chill weapon if you wanna run around and not have to focus too hard. So those are my quick thoughts. That is my initial review on the Osteo Striga. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.